Good afternoon, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And guys, Bitcoin is looking rather weak at the moment. We can see it's come up here and it's tested this zone right around 7,300, somewhere thereabouts at the top, about 7,300, 7,250, and it's only been able to wick into it quite a few times, and it's been rejected every time. That can only happen so often before price is going to end up failing. Now we can see prices now coming down and starting to test this ascending support line that we've pointed out many times in the past. We are going to possibly get a bounce off that support, although in my opinion, while that's certainly a possibility, I don't believe that's not my bias. My bias right now is we may come down, get a little bit of a reaction, come back up, test this resistance one more time, and then just come back down and crash through this support line. If that does happen, guys, at that point, I do believe we're possibly going to fall maybe down into this zone, maybe come down and hit the 50 at about 7850, somewhere thereabouts, and get a bounce off the 50. However, my bias is more than likely we're going to break down below the 50, come down, test this 7790, possible double bottom down here where price broke down to about 7790. The bullish scenario, if this does break down, would be price come down, create a double bottom, and then shoots back up to come up and test once again the 8300. If it does break 8,300, guys, then the next test is going to be that 8,500 resistance. Remember, that is a very strong resistance. I've shown you guys many times in the past. That is where the golden pocket of the 618 to the 65 fib level is. If we can get north of that, guys, I think it's going to be a very quick rise to 10,000. But we're not quite there. We're nowhere near there quite yet, guys. More than likely, I think this is going to break down. Best case scenario, breaks down, creates a double bottom, comes back up. If it does not bounce at that 7790, 7780 range, possibly around this double bottom, wherever, depending on the exchange that you're on, if it does not create a bounce off there, I think more than likely we're going to come down and test this support zone at 7700 to 7650. And I do believe if it does come and test this support zone, it'll probably more than likely kind of just bounce on top, move sideways. We can see if we look at this microstructure inside here, swing low, swing high, we can see that is the 618 fib level. Golden pocket goes down to about 7650. So between 7700 and 7650, that should be a fairly strong support. If that support does break down, guys, then more than likely we're going to drop down to my second target here, which is 7400. If price does go down there, I will more than likely be stacking a few buy orders in there, not a lot, but just a few, expecting a bounce at that zone. Excuse me, guys. But we're not there yet, guys. I think, as I said, more than likely, in my opinion, bias is we're going to come down here to at least test this 7790, but if that breaks, coming down to the 7700. Looking at our indicators, guys, we can see, again, we're looking at the 4-hour. The 4-hour RSI has kind of created almost a double bottom here. That is excuse me, guys. That is bearish divergence. We can see price created, if I drew an arrow from this point to this point, we can see that would be a higher low price created. However, on the RSI, we can see that it's almost parallel to each other, signifying bearish divergence, which tells us that once again, guys, we may in fact be dropping down to a lower level. We'll have to wait and see. Looking at our exponential moving averages, guys, we can see the 8-day EMA is represented there in blue. Price is about to come down and test that support. It's been acting as support quite a few times in the past year. If that support does break, then, as I said, more than likely we're going to probably drop down and test 7,700, somewhere thereabouts. At that point, I would be expecting, as I said, price to possibly just kind of consolidate right on top of that 21-day EMA or that 7,700 support zone, as I showed you. This is on the daily chart, guys. Looking at the 4-hour chart, if I just zoom it up, we can see that our Bollinger Bands are getting squeezed tighter and tighter. We can see that our moving averages and our 50-day moving averages and our EMAs are all kind of converging on top of one another. That is, once again, another signal that we're going to see a major move in price. And as I said, guys, my bias is we're going to see a drop. I would be looking for hopeful support at the 55-day EMA down here. If that does break, though, guys, as I said, more than likely we're probably going to come down and test at least 7,700 or thereabouts, guys. So things are not looking great right now. We can see volumes dropping off, showing a little bit of weakness in the market. So if this does break up, let me give you best case scenario. We do end up bouncing off of this ascending support line coming up, possibly testing this 8,300 to 8,250 resistance zone. If we can break north of that, then the next zone we're going to look to take out, as I said, is that 8,500. And if we can get north of 8,500, guys, then I think it's just going to snowball up. But for right now, guys, I'm not seeing any indication of any strength that we are going to do that. But it does not mean it can't happen, guys. This is crypto. Anything can happen. But as I said, guys, for the last time, my bias is to the downside. So these are my quick thoughts on Bitcoin. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.